Let's start this match in 3, 2, 1, go.
And here we go with our first match of the semifinals on the field number 2, our second semifinal match. A successful cap from the Blue Alliance and a successful from the Red Alliance. And a Blue Alliance grab here. Red Alliance on 2 cones on their thing. We've got 4 cones over on the Red Alliance. We're going for 5. We're going for 6 on the Red Alliance. Blue Alliance keeping up just as well. We got nearly a collision, but these autonomous keep them in line. We've got another blue score. This is one of the highest scoring autonomouses I've seen all day at this tournament as we are running out of our autonomous period.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
And moving right along into our driver-controlled period. All robots immediately beginning motion. This is the second-seeded team and the third-seeded team for our elimination rounds at the Maryland Tech Invitational, and they are showing why they deserve to be here by scoring as quickly as they possibly can. 1-4-4-8-1 with their trademark long extending arm juggling motion, landing another blue beacon on the top of their upper junction, immediately countered by the Red Alliance 1-8-4-3-8 Wolfpack Machina. Again, Windspear Award winners landing a red cone on it, and they've got a little bit of a tilt. These upper junctions are already starting to get a bit full, and as we've seen in the previous days and the previous matches, these are the matches you do not want to mess up. You want to make sure you are stacking these cones on these upper and middle junctions as fast as you can, but you got to make sure you do not tip them over. With 68 seconds left in the match, there's plenty of time for these robots to continue to score, but we're already like halfway through and getting stacked up on these junctions because these robots are aiming for the same junctions and they are getting stacked as fast as they possibly can, which means that these robots are going to get soon into a tipping range and they're going to run out of room even to land on these upper junctions. You can see 9889 playing very effective defense against the Red Alliance there, slowing them down and getting ready to score on that middle junction. Meanwhile, their partner also claiming a middle junction for themselves. 1-4-2-5-9, though, is not happy about that. They are quick on the punch. And as we go into our endgame, we are immediately getting ready to deploy those beacons on the field. It is vital that these teams use those beacons in the best way possible to, yes, as the Red Alliance just demonstrated, capture one of those and lock in one of those junctions for themselves. And Blue Alliance capturing a top junction for themselves with only 10 seconds left in the match. It is all about rounding out those last few cones and making sure you can cap those things. Again, very effective defense for cruise control, but it was not enough, and they still managed to capture one of those junctions on the middle. What a match!
That's the conclusion. Semi-final number 2, match number 1.
We are
Let's take
nearly
it
out
over
of
our fun
cones
team.
on all alliances. Incredible autonomous. Not a single tipped over. Fantastic work, teams. What a way to open up semi-final match number 2.
About another fantastic match here at MTI. Semifinal 2, match number 1, back and forth. I loved the last-minute score we saw as well there, too. What did you see in this match, and we'll hop in the replay?
Yeah, let's just start from the beginning of Autonomous. You know, this year's Autonomous is just so interesting with all of that robot-to-robot interaction. We saw Don't Blink. I think they're really famous and infamous even for that position lock Autonomous that they ran at the World Championship. And then over on in the front side of the field, you have Cruise Control versus Wolfpack Machina. Most interesting thing there is that it's 2 vision-based dropping sequences, and you know, we saw how well they went against each other. I think the biggest takeaway from that is Wolfpack waiting until like 1-2 seconds left in the autonomous so they can guarantee that last ownership. Really worked out well for them. Now jumping into the teleop period, we saw again that trend of only scoring on those autonomous junctions, just like maybe 2, 3, or 4 other junctions placed, but we saw how high they went. I mean, that was just absolutely incredible by all the teams there. Another thing that I think was really interesting was the Red Alliance's decision to run their captain and second pick instead of, I'd say, the more traditional route of running your captain and first pick. You know, the Blue Alliance Cruise Control pick Don't Blink to run that first match, and we'll see how this turns out for them. But, you know, this gives the Red Alliance a lot more versatility in their second match. They can run whoever they want pretty much with the with their first pick and the captain if they want. Another thing, you know, we mentioned at the end that I think at 30 seconds left, they'll have like around 6 to 10 cones. Both alliances, as I counted, had exactly 20 cones scored at the 30-second mark. That means they were holding 10 cones each. That is like just so much, like a third of the match left with only 30 seconds left in the match. Now, this time it turned out really interesting. You know, these teams are used to scoring just all of the cones they can, but they only scored about 4 to 5 each plus a couple beacons on both alliances. So it'll be really interesting to see if these alliances decide to play a little more aggressive during the match in the future and get rid of a couple more cones during that teleop period.
I want to go back just a few seconds here, and I love this counter that goes right back and forth right here between 14481 and 1843. Watch as they score, and here's the counter right there. The Wolfpack gets counter there. Very interesting play and a great job really by 14481 to make it happen.
I know, and you know, if you were to do that scenario 10 times, it would go half and half, I'm sure. Like, these are just two excellent teams.
All right, we are ready for the scores of that match. And a nod of the head says we are. Here we go. The score of semifinal 2, match 1, Red wins. Red wins match number 1 with a score of 245 to 211 to the Blue Alliance.